thank you by inviting me to this place. My name is Farhad Bakhtiar, and I am economist and ex-banker. And today I am advising the government of Uganda in water and environment in the United Nations negotiation on climate change and global warming. And I try to put my experience in the hand of my friends in Uganda and in some other African countries. And I believe this is within the spirit of World Forum, that we exchange our view, we give our experience to the others. And I am very happy to be here in World Forum, and I believe this is an excellent platform which has been created 12 years ago with the efforts of Mr. Vladimir Yakunin. And also I would like to thank him for this beautiful tool which he has created. And one of the reasons I am passionate about this forum, which we call it Dialogue of Civilization, is because today we are witnessing that the politics, they failed to bring peace to this world. And where the politics, they are failing, maybe the dialogue of civilization and the dialogue of religion and the dialogue between scholars and between brilliant mind and passionate soul and a warm heart can bring this peace to the world. And I do not want to criticize the government because they have another agenda. They are elected every now and then. And they don't have time, and they are not sitting in their seats for a long time. Maximum 8 years in some countries, maximum 10 years in the others. However, the scientist, the scholar, the philosopher, which they are talking about dialogue of civilization, they are there at least for 60 years, 70 years sometimes. And this is the beauty about dialogue of civilization. We are also in a country that was one of the oldest democracy in the world. And today we are witnessing, unfortunately, the dysfunction of democracies in many countries. And we are trying to think about a new paradigm, to understand first what is democracy and how it functions before saying democracy is fantastic and we want to export it to other countries. Democracy cannot function in Switzerland and in Sweden the same way than in Nigeria. This is totally two different countries, three different countries. And some countries, they have a tribal system. They have tradition of tribalism. You cannot go there and to impose to them the new method of democracy in the world. Some countries, they are having a monarch. However, the people, they are happier than some other countries with the elected representative and president. We cannot go and say, let's go and finish with all the countries that they do not have a democratically elected rulers. I don't want to go through the examples. We have many, many examples in the world. And coming back to Africa, I believe Africa is a very important continent. Africa represents a billion people, 54 countries. And I would like to go back a little bit. In 1955, we had only 5 independent African countries. 1955 is not 3 centuries ago, it's yesterday. I was born and I could have a perception of life. Today, same continent, we have 54 countries. Some of them, they are very young. I will give you the example of the youngest country in the world, the Republic of South Sudan. can we expect from a country with 3 years being 3 years old the same function of democratic institutions? Of course not. We have to help them. We have to make what we call it capacity building for them. But we should not let them become independent and being in the jungle. Nobody went to the Republic of South Sudan by helping them to do this, building the institutions, capacity building of the people, how to rule. Today, unfortunately, we have a civil war. This is a clear example. Now, going back to Africa, my thinking about dialogue of civilization is we should also bring on board the African continent. This is the third year I'm attending to this beautiful conference, and I'm learning a lot and I'm trying to contribute, but I didn't see a massive representation of Africa. 1 billion people, 54 countries. And by the way, don't we all have a grandmother, grand-grandmother by the name of Lucy? Lucy is coming from Africa. We are all Africans at the end of the day. And we need to bring a continent, countries with tremendous culture, with tremendous different system, and to learn from them. Because we would like to learn from everybody. This dialogue of civilization. We do have very old civilization in Africa. Before the colonialism, there were kingdoms, kingdoms and kingdoms. Today in some countries, they do exist. The kings still exist. But there is also a democratically elected president. And they are respecting each other. And we should learn from them. And we should learn about tradition of the tribes, how they respect each other and how proud they are, and to bring them here and to learn from them. And my proposal to the organizer of this forum is to have some maybe scholar from Africa, maybe a president, like President of Czech Republic. This week he came, he's a acting president. He came one day and he dialogued with us and he interacted with us, and we learned a lot about a man who has been pensioner, who has been retired, and now he's the president of the country. And he shared with us his view of democracy, his view of peace, his view of contributing to peace. And we can have African presidents, African scholars, African writers, African philosophers, and we have many of them in this beautiful continent. Climate change and water represent a great threat to the humanity. This week here, our concern was the 100th anniversary of the First World War, which was a devastating event for the world. And today we are witnessing the regional flame and war. And we are very close to repeat the mistakes of 1940. And that was the topic. The topic was peace, peaceful resistance, such as Gandhi brought us this thinking. But also, we mentioned one or twice the threats of the climate change, global warming, and water scarcity. I personally believe the threats to the humanity from global warming and pollution and water is much bigger than threat of war. I am a little bit knowledgeable. I have some experience in this matter, but we do have scientists. We have intergovernmental panel on climate change. They are giving us, this is a United Nations body, and they are giving us quarterly or sometimes yearly reports, and it's frightening. It's frightening. On the other hand, we cannot go and tell to the emerging countries, wait a minute, we enjoyed 300 years of industrialization by using the fossil fuel. Now you cannot do it. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. China, India. In India we have 400 million people that they don't have electricity. Can we go and tell them you cannot make a power station with coal? We did it in the world for 300 years. But we need to find a solution. And the solution is the negotiation of United Nations on climate change and global warming.